So for the today lecture, the objective of the today lecture, as I explained before, I am going to discuss first the objective because what you are going to learn out of this lecture. And we have defined earlier the definition of the chemistry. And today we are going to discuss very general uh, topics or the definitions because these are required to further discuss the advanced topics. And first, we will differentiate the actually the physical properties and the chemical properties, and then we will define the matter, atom, and the elements, and then we will further explore actually what are these states of the matter. So at the end of the lecture, of today lecture, or maybe it will take another lecture, you will be able to differentiate. If I give you some of the properties, you can differentiate which one is the physical properties and which one would be the chemical properties. And you can differentiate between the matter, atom and elements, and what would be the state of the matter. So this is the objective of our today or the maybe the next lecture. So starting with the first one. First is the chemistry, because this we have already discussed and defined along with the branches of the chemistry. So chemistry is the study of the number one, it is the composition. Again, this is the properties which we are going to discuss today. And this is the transformation of the matter. And this we will also discuss today, how the matter is going to be transformed from one form to the another form and what is the reason behind this one. And composition, we have little bit discussed before. Composition means how the matter is made up of different elements. That means if you consider the water is composed of hydrogen and the oxygen. We call it the having the two elements over there. So the composition of the water is two hydrogen and the one oxygen. So today we are going to discuss the properties and then we will move to the transformation of the matter. So this will give you the complete understanding of the chemistry. So the first is the physical properties. It is very simple to understand actually what are the physical properties. And actually these are the characteristics that do not involve a change in the sample's makeup, chemical makeup. There is no change in the whatever the sample is, any material which you are taking. If there you feel there is no chemically change, that means that would be the physical properties. Let's have an example. Let's if you melt the ice, and ice is actually it is one form of the water. It is the solid form of the water, that means you call it the ice. And if you melt it, for instance, so is there is the property is going to change. That means from this solid is converted into the liquid, but there is no change in the chemical properties of the liquid or the water. That means water or the formula of the water will remain the same, and this is called the H2O. Even it is the ice, and even it is the water, and even if the water turns to the gaseous, when it is going to evaporate, there is no change in the chemical change. And this type of the property is called the physical properties. So physical property, even you can visualize and you can say, okay, this is the physical properties. Like in case of the ice is being melted into the liquid. So the second one is the uh, chemical properties, and these are the characteristics that do involve a change in the chemical makeup. So this is physical properties. It is do not involve the chemical makeup, but here it involves a chemical makeup, because without a chemical reaction, you cannot observe the physical properties. And here there is no chemical reaction, but in the chemical properties, there must be a chemical reaction. Then you will understand actually this is the chemical properties. Let's have a look. There is one of the example, and this also you observe in your daily life when you just uh, 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 if you keep the bicycle in the rain for the long time, then it is the rusting of the bicycle is going to start because of having the iron in the bicycle, and iron is going to oxidize and it is converted into iron oxide. That means iron combines with the oxygen and the moisture from the air, and the new substance is called the rust, and this is called the iron oxide. So this cannot be happen without a chemical change. If there is no oxygen or the moisture, then there is no rusting. So that means if you keep the bicycle inside and and there is no moisture and the oxygen, then the rusting will not happen. And for if it is going to oxidize, it is the rusting. That means there is a chemical change. The iron is converted into the rust, that is called the iron oxide, and this is called the chemical properties. So chemical properties again are coming from the some sort of the chemical reaction, and physical properties are just you can differentiate with the physical appearance of the substances. So let's have a look. There are the some of the properties are the matter are given over here. These are the chemical properties, and these are the sorry physical properties, and these are the chemical properties. The first have a look. If it is let's say pink, blue, or the yellow, you can differentiate with their physical appearance. It does not need a chemical reaction to visualize if this color is the yellow or the pink or the blue. So if the three colors are there, even here, you can differentiate which color is this, and that means this is called the physical properties. It is observed and measured without chemical identity of the reaction. You do not need any chemical reaction to observe or to measure the color. And in a similar way, if it is a length, you can just measure the length or you can observe the length. Let's suppose the length of the table or the length of your laptop or the length of your room in which you are sitting. No chemical reaction is required to measure this one. So this type of the properties is also called the physical properties. Again, if you want to take the sum of the water in this mug, it is the volume. Let's suppose this is a 500 ml or the 1 liter or the 2 liter. So it is the volume. It will remain the same, the volume. That means no chemical change is there, and this is also called the physical properties. Opacity, or you can say this is the how you can see the different things, or capacity, how much, like in this case, how much volume it is going to occupy, and this is the also called physical properties, because to visualize the things or to have such type of the measurement, it does not need any chemical reaction, and these are the physical properties. And simply in conclusion, physical property, you can say, you can see and tell what is the physical property is this. In contrary to the physical properties, you can say here the some of the properties are given over here, and these are measures and observed with the change in chemical identity. Let's suppose if there is the some sort of the reactivity. Reactivity means, let's suppose this is the explosion. When it may be explosion or of any of the chemicals. So without explosion, there should not be any reactivity. Or even you can say if there is the, let's suppose you have the acid, or in this case, and you want to check whether how much acidity it is has, like let's suppose you are drinking the orange juice, and of course it should have acid inside. And then how can you confirm this acidity? That means you need a chemical reaction. Maybe you are going to react with the base, and then it is going to show you, okay, this is the acid. And even if you spill this acid in your skin, then it is going to start the reactive reaction with your skin. That means there is the chemical reaction of the acid with the skin, and that is called the chemical properties. Again, if it is the flammability, like gasoline or the gas you are using at home, when it is going to react with the oxygen, it is going to be burned. So without burning, it is not happening. That means some two things are going to react to each other, and that is give you the flame, and this must be a chemical properties. Another one is the toxicity. Is someone, let's suppose, take a poison, or someone give a poison to other one, how it is going to be judged? The poison, of course, is going to react with the body, some of the cells, and they are going to damage these cells. That means this toxicity is the chemical properties. So this is the difference between the chemical and the physical properties. And just to engage with you with me, now I am going to use some of the properties, and I am going to ask you to differentiate either any one of them is the physical or the chemical properties. And in the similar way, in a very simple way, I will be asking in your quiz or the mid or final examination. Maybe I will give you some sort of the properties and ask you to differentiate which one is the chemical or the physical properties. And these must be very simple. Don't be take them very hard or confusing. I will not give you such type of the examples. So let us start with the first one. Here it is the temperature. So any one of you can suggest the temperature is the physical or the chemical properties. Maybe you, any one of you, unmute your mic and just explain either the temperature is the physical or the
Sir,
chemical.
physical.
Okay, that's good. If it is the physical, what is the reason? How can you differentiate? Either it is the physical. How did you identify this one? Rukash Fatma.
Sir, because the chemical properties of it don't change. It
Okay,
only changes the temperature, and if you keep on changing the temperature, it result in a change in the state of matter. So that is also a physical property. So that's it. That's all
okay,
that changes.
okay. And anyone else? Someone else also raised the hand. Okay, Amos.
एक्सक्यूज मी सर.
Yes,
यस सर.
yes,
लेकिन सर
please.
टेम्परेचर मेजर करने के लिए सर वो उसमें मर्करी इस्तेमाल होता है वो और वो केमिकल है.
चलें चलें शाबाश इस तरह की मेरे पास आएंगी देन आई विल क्लियर इट मोर सो you are saying the temperature is the chemical properties, am I right?
नो सर मैं ये कह नहीं रहा लेकिन मैं सवाल पूछ रहा हूँ कि इसमें तो मर्करी इस्तेमाल होता है
नहीं नहीं मैं सही वो
टेम्परेचर
अभी
मेजर करने के
हाँ
लिए.
मैं इसको जवाब देता हूँ मैं आप आपने अभी बताया ना ताकि मैं आप जेहन में रखें ये
सर
लर्निंग का
केमिकल.
एक केमिकल सो ये लर्निंग के लिए बड़ा इम्पोर्टेंट है कि अगर इट डजेंट मैटर यू आर सेइंग राइट और रॉन्ग बिकॉज यू आर लर्निंग and even you are thinking something wrong, and I always suggest this is much better than for those other from those students who are not thinking in this manner as well. So your understanding or your thinking is very important. That's why you will learn whenever I'm going to clear this concept. So any other one is having any question or the observation over here, either the temperature, no, we have one option, it is the physical property, and another one is saying this is the chemical property. With some reason, would any one of you want to
सर
discuss?
टेम्परेचर फिजिकल प्रॉपर्टी है.
Okay, physical properties. Why you are thinking about why it is the physical property?
सर ये इसलिए कि जब तक इसकी स्टेट चेंज नहीं होती हम देखते हैं कि ये टेम्परेचर अपनी मेजरमेंट्स चेंज नहीं करता और until until and unless जब तक ये चेंज नहीं होता ये फिजिकल स्टेट में रहता है.
Okay. So let me finish the first one. Actually, what is the temperature? When you say if you are having a temperature, like you are if someone is suffering from temperature or the feeling hot, so uh, what about the doctor observation? What is your observation? You say, okay, I am feeling some hot, and that's why you are suffering with from temperature. That means it is maybe the result of something. But here, like if you are sitting at home and you feel okay, you are feeling not good, and you want to turn on your fan or the AC, that means it is hot inside the temperature. That's why you are turning your fan. So temperature is the actually the feeling about the coldness or the hotness. It is just like this. So if you are feeling hot, that means the temperature is high. If you feeling cold, that means the temperature is low. Temperature itself is not any giving you the chemical reaction, so it is your feeling. That means what type of reaction do you require to measure or to feel that temperature? It doesn't matter you are taking the thermometer. Temperature in a broader sense I am going to use, like here I am sitting at home and I am feeling very hot. So what type of thermometer I'm going to use? I'm not using any thermometer, or I'm not using any chemical reaction to feel this one concept. So that means temperature is the feeling that is coming out with the hotness or the coldness. So that's why this is the physical properties. So it is not going to measure any chemical reaction. So any observation of this one, or may I want to go further if there is no any clash over there? Okay. So the second one is the color. So Ariba, would you like to explain? The color is the physical property or the chemical property?
Sir, color is the physical property of the matter.
Very good. Why did you realize? How did you realize it is the
So
physical?
because it does not change its chemical makeup, it remains the same.
It remain the same, and you can, if there are different colors are there, and by watching them you can differentiate which color is this. That means color is the physical properties. It is not going to be required a chemical reaction. Very good. So the other one, I am just taking the random out of this list. Hardness. So hardness is the, let's suppose, Fiza Kadir. So what do you think, hardness is a physical property or a chemical property?
The physical property.
It is the
Physical property.
physical property. How did you realize it is a physical
So,
property?
because there is no chemical reaction happening, it isn't just changing state.
Okay. So this is just the change in state. Let's suppose if a solid wire is there and the liquid is there, you can easily differentiate which one is the hard as compared to the other one. So no chemical change or chemical reaction is required to differentiate between the solid and the liquid, or within the solid. If let's suppose if it is the iron rod and the other one is the rubber, both are the solid, and the iron would be harder than as compared to the rubber, and you do not need any chemical reaction to differentiate the hardness of these two material. So hardness is the physical property. And other one is the hardening of the cement. So uh, Pars Fatma, would you like? Maybe I have spelled in the right way.
Sir, it's Mahfara.
Okay, Mapar. So would you suggest what is the hardening of cement particularly? It is the physical property or the chemical property?
It is a physical property.
It is the physical property. Okay, let me ask someone else. Mohibullah Shoaib,
Yes, sir.
physical or chemical?
Sir, एक बार question repeat कर.
Well, hardening of cement is the physical property or the chemical property?
Sir, I think it is physical.
How did you realize?
Sir, eventually dry out हो जाता है process में तो I think it's physical
Okay,
because
Zainab
of the
Wasim.
heat and
Okay, let me take another answer. Zainab.
Yes, sir.
So, what do you suggest? Hardening of cement, particularly, it is a physical or the
Sir,
chemical?
sir, it's a chemical property.
It's a chemical property. And what is your reason behind this one?
Um, Sir, because water and cement mix together and it becomes hard.
Okay, very good. So this is the right answer. Hardness. Here we in the previous one example we had talked in a general way. Hardness is the property, and this is the physical property, and I have explained earlier. But here we are talking about the hardening of the cement. If you itself realize this the cement only, then it should be in the powder form or in the solid form. You can say this is the physical property, but here this is the hardening of the cement, and it is that means you are going to change the state of the cement. It is the first was also a solid, but it is going to be further hard, and it is if it is going to be further hard, that means now the cement is going to react with some the water or the other things, and these are going to be hardened. And this is the actually this is also you are observing in your daily life. If you want to construct a building, of course you are going to use the cement, and cement with the sand and the water, these are going to be hardened. That means now the cement is going to be chemical bonding with the sand and the water, and that's why it become hard, and it should not be without a chemical change. So it requires a chemical reaction to become hard, otherwise it should not be the hardening of the cement. In a similar way, like the iron, if it is in the air, and that means in the presence of the oxygen and in the presence of the oxygen and the moisture, it is rusted, and this is called the rusting of the iron. And in the similar way, if the cement get the moisture, and it is also hardened, and you feel if you remain it in the open atmosphere, it will become harder from powder to the solid. That means some sort of the chemical reactions are happening inside. That's why this is called the chemical property. And other one is, so it is ending. I have around 1 minute, because the meeting is will be ending over here. So again, if any one of you have not marked your attendance, so please do mark first. So I am ending this one and re-logging again, so we can just finish this topic. So again, your presence is must, and I am actually taking the noting the time at which time you are going to log in and the log off. So be with me.
Sir, please let me know how to mark the attendance.
So just send your name and the roll number in the chat box. It will be automatically marked.
All
So
right, all right.
put your name and roll number in the chat box, and it will be marked later on. So, okay, so please rejoin again.